Hi, cutie pies. It is Lanikia, and I am coming to you with Young of the Restless. This is season 49, episode 106. And it was a good episode today. So we start out by, and the same way I do with General Hospital, I'm just going to do, well, actually, everything was interesting to me, but I'm just going to do each one by a group, the section of people. So I'm just going to get Jack out of the way. So we start off with Jack calling a meeting with Phyllis, Billy, and Tracy. And he informs them that Chemo has died, and he's been getting these mysterious texts. And in getting them, he discovered that Chemo died. Now I know a lot of the fans were disappointed because they thought that was going to be bring that into the storyline. But what we're hearing or seeing is that it's actually going to be a storyline for Jack's granddaughter, because he's going to have to go to LA because he's going to try to, situate all of the estate or what, how big or small it is. He wants to just know the man Chemo was. Now, Tracy and Billy are surprised because they said, like, how did this happen? And we thought you were close to Chemo. You talked to him. And he was like, no, they were estranged after the mother died. He forgave him, but then when he left, he started building his resentment and everything. So no, they were not close, and he had not talked to Chemo in years. um and so, I mean, that's just what it was. He didn't talk to him, and so he's getting these messages. So Billy and Tracy are like, we're going to go. We're going to go with you and support you. But he decides, no, I want to take Phyllis. And they're very worried about him because they say he's very fragile right now. And so Billy doesn't trust Phyllis because he was like, she always has her own motives and going. But Tracy is just like, listen, Jack needs her right now. It'll be easier for her if he has to break down. It'll be easier for her. And she even tells, Phyllis that, just take good care of him. And Phyllis said she will, and they'll get to the bottom of what's going on and who's sending the message, who sent the messages and everything. So Jack heads off to LA to go and, discover the man that Chemo became. And so that is that episode there. Um, and then we see, okay, so then Nikki runs into Victoria. So Nikki is talking to Victoria, and Nikki is good. But Nikki is talking to Victoria, and she's telling Victoria, could I talk to you or whatever? And because her mind is replaying what Victor said, and she's starting to be like, maybe even if I don't, want to, maybe I'll consider what Victor said about Ashlyn or whatever. And so she's asking Victoria, how are you guys? Are you guys good? And Victoria says everything's great. But she doesn't have time to, have a cup of tea with Nikki. She got to get back to the office. So she goes back to the office, and Ashlyn already has the contract drawn up. He's ready to sign on the dotted line and make him CEO, or is it COO? But anyways, he wants to be the co-CEO of the company. And she's like, whoa, that was fast. And he said, yeah, I told him to expedite the contract. I bet you did. Especially when now that he knows Victor is or someone is catching on to him and his lies. So he was like, yeah, I told him to expedite the contract and everything. And so they did. And so when they did, okay. And so they did. And so when they do this, he's like, let's go ahead and sign. And she's again hesitant. Girl, that is your gut telling you that this man is not good. Don't do it. Um, because this man is no good for you. But she wants to um show him that she trusts him and that she supports him, but she's still hesitant to sign on the dotted line. And as she's thinking about this, Nikki comes in, and Nikki's like, hey, did I hear what I thought I heard, that you're wanting to be partners of the company and everything? And she said, yes. And Nikki was like, oh, wow, why you need to be a partner? She said, and she brings up her fact. She said, I don't need a title or anything to know about my position in the company, because Victoria was like, your position won't change. And she said, why would it? I don't need a title. I don't need my name attached to anything. My position is my position. And Ashlyn is trying to say, I want respect. He talking about, I want respect, and yada yada yada. And people don't, when I say things, I want to have the same amount of respect in the company as she has. And Nikki is like, no, they clear the hallway when you come through. What are you talking about? And Victoria was just like, I think it'd be a good idea, Mom. And Nikki is like, no, maybe you should talk to your dad about this. And she was like, what, you don't trust me? And she was like, yes, yes, yes. But your dad has been your biggest advisor. And he built this company. And maybe you should just talk to him about what he thinks and everything. And Victoria's like, maybe you're right. Yes, girl, talk to your daddy first before you do this. And so she's like, okay, we'll do that. And Ashlyn is like, oh, well, I want all the Newman blessing and all that. But, because Nikki was like, oh, good, settled then. We'll talk to Victor. And then you can have all the Newman blessing and everything on it and, backing you. And he was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I would want that and everything. But that's what it is. So she helped Victoria get out of that, even though Victoria don't know she wanted to get out of it. You do, girl. That's what your gut is telling you. All that hesitation you're doing, and you're so hesitant to go ahead and sign on the dotted line. Yeah, that's what it is. And besides that, he's like, I read it over and it's all good or whatever. You still should have told him, well, I still need, my lawyers to read this. Or girl, what is, I don't understand it. So then we go to, so then he leaves the office and everything, and so he leaves and she tells him, and as he leaves the office, she says, give me, he leaves the office, right? And so she and Victoria are talking, and Victoria is just like, I need, and Victoria is just like, okay, I'm not gonna like sign anything until I show it to Dad. And Nikki is like, good, because if you don't tell your dad, I will. So now we go over to the dad, and so then Ashlyn is like, please help me, somebody, please tell me you got the information on Michael, what he's looking for. And he also gets a phone call, and he tells the doctor, no, I don't give anyone permission to have my medical records or anything. So then there's that. So then we turn around and we see that so then we turn around and we see that Victor is with Nick and Adam. He's brought them in because he says, I have information about Ashlyn. So they're like, what's going on? And so he lets them know that Ashlyn went to Peru. He has Michael in Peru digging up information. And he says, we find out that Ashlyn did not go and get medical treatment or anything. And they were like, well, what was he doing? And they said, he didn't get any kind of treatment or whatever. And they were like, oh my gosh, Victoria just got him back and now she's going to lose him. Why would he do that? And he said, y'all not getting the point. Ashlyn was never sick. This has just been a long con. And they're like, oh my gosh, what? And Nick said, see, I told you, I never trusted Ashlyn from the very beginning. I knew he was up to no good. And so they're like, so what are we going to do? And well, at first Nick didn't want to do it because he didn't want information on it, because he was like, because me and Victoria, we're still not in the best place now because of that. We're better, but we're not in a great place because of my thoughts on Ashlyn. So I don't want to hear anything. But now he went ahead and told them that Ashlyn is just, this has been a long con for him to get the company. He wants the Newen company and his own company. And so now Victor is like, don't worry about it. I'll handle it. And that was Young and the Restless today, y'all. It was pretty good. It was really good. It was just one of those steady episodes where it was a lot of information. All the right people are knowing all the information. So I will see you tomorrow for another episode, recap and review of the Young and the Restless. Bye.